dig it. Tafari, you got a question?
Yeah. So, how many episodes of Fairly Odd Parents did you get to work on?
Yeah, so I was there for the whole spinoff season, and so we did 40 carts is what we called them. So they're 11-minute episodes. We referred to them as carts, and I wrote. There was how many of us? There were 5 of us, and I wrote maybe 7 of the episodes, including 2 half hours. So it was like
Jesus.
um I wrote the mid-season finale, and then I wrote the season finale. In addition to like when Crocker came back, I got to write that episode,
Oh
and
my
and then I
Sorry.
also got to write a. Uh, I listen. That's exactly what I said, and then I also write a like a Groundhog Day esque time travel loop episode, and it was I pitched that I pitched the concept of that in my interview, and it was like maybe the second or to last episode that I got to write, and I was like just so it was like a year of work, maybe a year and change, I think is how long we wrote on the show, and that truly was a highlight of it, was like seeing this idea that I had to try to get a job. I was like, oh, we could do something like this, and then that ended up being something that they liked and let me do on the show. So yeah, that one was great. And I voice a character. His name is James. Now I just have to say, I didn't make this character's name James because I wanted to play the part. I gotta make it clear that I named him James as an inside. He was a guy who was into dinosaurs, and I'm notoriously obsessed with dinosaurs. Jurassic Park's my favorite movie. Blah 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 blah. And so I just thought it would be funny if the character's name would be James, and then he ended up being like they would bring him back all the time, and I think I'm in 3 or 4 episodes as this guy. So yeah, it was so much fun to get to work on A New Wish. And we finished that maybe 2 years ago at this point, and so we haven't heard about a second season. The longer time passes, the more you start to go, okay, I don't know if it's gonna, but hey, I mean, there's a lot of shuffling happening at Paramount with the Skydance.
This is true. Yes.
Whoever it was that bought them. and so there's nothing formal. We haven't heard anything yet, and so we're still hopeful. We hope people, they just dropped all like 10 of them are on Netflix, and all 20 because they roped the carts together. So all 20 episodes are on Paramount Plus now. They just got released yesterday at the time of this live. So hello. So please, watch it.
We tell people all the time to,
if you have
check out all these shows that we are somehow attached to. This is why Blurred Station exists. For those who don't know or have been living under a rock, Blurred Station is an up and coming service that dedicates itself to showcasing and it's showing Black speculative fiction shows, whether it's live action, whether it's anime or comics, and we are pretty close to getting funded. Let's just put it like this: if you were mad about Lovecraft Country getting canceled, imagine if something like that was over there.
Right,
it's got a home. You don't have to worry.
I like it's not in the fact that y'all did a reboot. Y'all did what I call a successful continuation. Because Hazel's a fun-loving Black child. She's wearing a bonnet. She's not taking no sass from nobody. She cares about her friend. She cares about her older brother. She has 2 parents. Like y'all are actually. Like I liked Fairly Odd Parents, but after a while I feel like they just didn't know what to do because characters started disappearing. We didn't know where they were. And y'all at least picked up the torch and like, hey, some of them went on to have successful careers. Some of them we're seeing where some of those characters became successful parent or adults, but now I forget the rich dude's name. Well, he was a poor kid, but now he's a rich dad, but treats his son has the same separation he had from his dad, just with a better income. Also, the fact that they haven't announced y'all being scrapped, I'm just gonna say y'all will get a second season because right now you guys are technically like one of the only shows like black girls have, because we know Moon Girl is done. Tiana basically never had a chance. They just announced she's finished, but y'all have gotten this. What is like my comfort show I watch in the background. I know Netflix likes to be cheap and only order 10 episodes at a time. So when the other 10 get there, I will definitely have my sister watch those. But it's been cool.
It's cool. I only thought there was 10 episodes, so I'm really surprised.
That's what they do. I think they do that with animes and Paramount shows for some reason. They're like, we'll take half for now and we'll see how this does. And I don't know if it's a residual thing or they're just like pinching pennies, but
I think it's a weird thing they got going on when it comes to television shows and how they air them. It's weird now.
Paramount and CBS are just scared. They do this every time. Something gets on a roll, they'll go, oh, it's not enough. It's one person short. We're gonna cancel it. Okay, NBC Junior. Okay,
but give us another episode of NCIS. I'm like,
when it's successful,
when my man put on his glasses, don't come for NCIS like that.
let's be honest. When it's successful and it's black, it's like, hold up, I call it the Bill Cosby effect. Yeah, when it's successful and it's black, they got to stop it.
Yeah, because I very much remember all the hate the first trailer got, and I'm like, but y'all were the same ones saying like the show should have ended at Channel Chasers, which I think was like at the end of like the third season, and we're on season 9, and then we got
watching it right now.
And then I think the third Jimmy and Timmy Power Hour was like the last we saw of Jimmy Neutron before somebody decided Planet King was a good idea.
Right.
Then I realized, I haven't heard anything bad about the show. I'm like, so they definitely beat the allegations. Y'all just want to hate in silence. So when I finally got to watch it, I'm like, they definitely they've done it. They and Nickelodeon finally have done it. Please, especially when y'all are scrapping all your other OGs, like, please, for the love of God, keep this. Give them a second season.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you saying that, because I exactly what you latched onto about the show is why I was excited to do it in the first place, because there had already been the creators, Lindsay and Ashley had already kind of broken like what their thought was for a season, and the fact that it was like not a full-on reboot. It was like, no, this is this is in line with the show. We're calling it a spin-off. It's it continues some characters' lives and also like has its own energy to it that makes it unique to Hazel and to Hazel's friend group and stuff. And so I was really moved by that. So I hope, listen, from your mouth to God's ears and whoever else is pulling any kind of strings, that we get to do more.
Yeah, whichever one of y'all wrote that I guess when Timmy grew up and they went on their adventure of like retirement, whichever one of y'all wrote that they took a visit to Obama's inauguration.
I cannot remember who did that, but it was probably like Lindsay or Ashley or something, or honestly, everyone was so truly every writer that we got to the privilege of working with was so funny. It was one of the funniest rooms I've been a part of, and supportive. One of the funniest supportive rooms I've been a part of, and so I'm glad even a joke like that. I'm like, what even was that joke? But I'm glad that
it makes you sit back and say, okay, I like that. That was unexpected, and I'll take it.
That's in the first or like second. I'm just like, I had it on the background while I'm at it. I'm like, okay, they actually threw a little, because that's kind of what's threw me off some of these continuations. Like I think we all love the OG Rugrats, because when you get older, you realize, each of those kids are basically a different version of childbirth. One was natural, one was twins. Chucky had a sick mom. Tommy was a stillborn, or not stillborn, a premature birth.
Yeah,
and it feels like they took a lot of the flavor out of it with that, to the point where they just threw it away, and now you can't even find it anymore. And I'm just like, this, y'all got it.
Yeah.
But with being in so many different rooms, because we just we saw 2 different posts today from like people we semi-know about just what advice would you give people about just not being too picky about opportunities? Because we saw, I think Yvette Nicole Brown posted about like an episode she did 20 years ago of a show that just paid her a nice residual. And then we had a friend who was an Abbott Elementary, like, hey, I did background for Abbott, but that little blurry figure in the back, that's me. Y'all can stop cheating. Hey, a check is
Shout
a
out to
check.
Roxy Hayes.
He was in the room, girl. That's what
matters. That's all that matters.
I want to be in.
I would say, you got to be as judicious as you can, but also like, but to that point, you really never know what something is going to do for you, and I know a lot of people who never say no, and I know a handful of people who are very like, I won't do that or blah blah, blah or whatever, and each has their pluses and their minuses, but me personally, I'm a yes man, and so and it has proven to be great for me, particularly recently. Like every specific thing that we've talked about today, particularly as it pertains to like Nickelodeon and stuff, is like it's always been the dream of childhood James, but I don't know if adult James ever thought that I would be here. I don't know if I ever thought that I would be writing, Nickelodeon shows and writing comics in the kid space, but I am really fulfilled by it in a way that like I'm surprised, so and so you do truly never know where something is going to take you, and or like you never know what's going to pay your rent, so
there's that. Then there's that.
How long that one thing's going to pay your rent for either,
right? Yeah. I very uncertain.
Still get my first SAG job was Law and Order SVU in 2011, something like that. And
Kiki Palmer was right. Like, everybody's been in
the Law and Order vortex. Everybody through it.
Everybody's got like 600 episodes at this point, so
that's the key. Everybody, we got to get on Law and Order some kind of way.
That is the true nexus point of all television. If you have yet to be on a Law and Order episode, whether it's SUV, or the original or Criminal Intent, you have passed through the toll gate somewhere.
What is it? The dude from Blue's Clues. If he can be in it, everybody gets it. Everybody gets it.
Really? Really? We're gonna do that?
Steve is on Law and Order?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was a villain. And he was a villain.
He was a villain.
Are you?
Yeah, he was an effective villain.
I gotta see that.
It was a culture shock to a lot of us. We were just like, oh no. Not Steve.
Like,
Not Steve.
Remember,
I'm about to look that up right now.
Everyone's tuned in back in the day. Everyone's tuned in to see Justin Bieber get blown away back in like 07.
I gotta look at that. No, I'm kidding.
We're gonna take a quick break. James, can you stick around and watch check what else? We're gonna be talking about some stuff that happened at BlurCon, maybe do a trailer review or two. We are coming back very shortly. We're gonna be here with James III, with the crew. You know how we do. We'll be right back.
Let's reach out one time.